Hello everyone. This is Imtiaz Begum, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce and Management, Government First Grade College, Chikbalapur. Today I am going to take session 16 of Employee Welfare and Social Security of 5th semester BBA, Bangalore, North University. So, we will discuss some of the statutory and non statutory labor welfare programs. So, in the previous class, we had discussed about the agencies of labor welfare and their roles. Learning objective of the chapter. This chapter aims to provide an understanding of labor welfare programs such as statutory and non statutory. Session outcome. The student will be able to understand the statutory and non statutory welfare measures. So, to begin with, statutory welfare programs. It includes those facilities which are provided by law. They are compulsory facilities. Every organization must and should provide this or arrange this facility so that workers can do the work without any problems. Employers in India are statutorily required to comply with the provisions of various welfare amenities under different labor legislations. The establishments are regulated by the Factories Act of 1948, the Plantation Labor Act of 1951, the Mines Act of 1952, and the Motor Transport Workers Act of 1961. First, we will see Factories Act of 1948. So, various provisions regarding facilities for the welfare of workers are as follows. First, we have is washing facility. According to Section 42, it was the Royal Commission of Labour which noted that the provision of suitable washing facility for all employees must be provided who are engaged in dirty processes. Suitable washing place and water should be made available compulsorily. So, adequate and suitable facilities for washing shall be provided and maintained for use of workers therein. Separate and adequate screened facility shall be provided for the use of male and female workers separately. Such facilities shall be conveniently accessible and shall be kept clean. Next we have is facilities for storing and drying clothes. Under section 43 of the act, a state government may make rules for the provision of suitable places for keeping clothing not worn during working hours and for the drying of wet cloths. Next one we have is facilities for sitting. Section 44 of the Factories Act provides in every factory suitable arrangements for sitting shall be provided so that the employees can take rest when they do not have the work. Next we have is first aid appliances. The Royal Commission on Labour recommended that in the case of all factories where mechanical power is used, a first aid box should be provided and maintained in different departments according to the number of workers employed on the basis to be laid down by local government. Next we have is canteen facility. The Royal Commission on Labour and the Labour Investigation Committee has laid considerable emphasis on the provision of canteen at the workplace. In most of the developing country, legislation empowers the competent authority to ensure the setting up of canteens in all undertaking employing more than a stipulated number of workers. Next we have is creatures. The need for setting up creatures in industrial establishment was stressed by the Royal Commission on Labour in its report in 1931. It recommended that the provision of creatures should be made a statutory obligation in all factories employing not less than 250 women. So next we have is welfare officer. According to Factories Act, in every factory wherein 500 or more workers are ordinarily employed is under statutory duty to employ in factory such number of welfare officers as may be prescribed. Next we have is Plantation Act of 1951. The welfare provision under this act are as follows. First one, canteen facility. As I have already said, the government insists all the organization to set up an canteen within the organization. Next we have is creches. A creche if employing 50 or more women workers, Section 12 of Plantation Acts provides that there should be a creche so that adequate accommodation, lighting, ventilation, sanitary, so on can be provided for the children and the infants. Next we have is educational facilities. Section 14 provides that where the children between the age of 6 and 12 of workers employed in any plantation exceed 25 in number, the state government may make rules requiring every employer to provide educational facility for the children in such companies. Next, residential accommodation. Every employer is required to provide and maintain necessary housing or accommodation facility for every worker and his family residing on the plantation in accordance with the prescribed standard laid down by the state government. So I missed recreational facility. So according to section 13, the Plantation Act 1951 provides that the state government may make rules requiring every employer to make provision in his plantation for such recreational facilities for the workers and children employed therein. Next, we have is power to make rules relating to housing. Section 16 of the Act provides that the state government may make rules for the purpose of giving effect to the provisions of accommodation, the selection and preparation of sites for construction of houses, and the size of such plots, the fixing of rent, if any, for the housing accommodation provided for workers. Next we have is medical facilities. Medical aid to worker and their families to be provided with sickness and maternity allowances. Next, other facilities. The state government may make rules requiring that in every plantation of employer shall provide the worker with such number and type of umbrellas, blankets, raincoats, or other such amenities for the protection of worker. Next we have is welfare officer. For the well-being of the workers, every organization must appoint a welfare officer. Next we have is Mines Act of 1952. It has laid down the provisions like drinking water. So every organization shall provide and maintain suitable points conveniently situated a sufficient supply of drinking water to all persons employed in the organization. Next we have is conservancy. There shall be provided separately for males and females in every mine a sufficient number of latrines and urinals for separate male and female, and it should be adequately lighted, ventilated, and at all times maintained in a clean and sanitary condition. Medical appliances. The Mine Rules 1955 had imposed an obligation on the owner of the mine to provide first aid room, first aid station, first aid kit, so on. Next we have is provision of shelter. So every organization must provide a shelter to their employees for taking food and rest. Next we have is canteen facilities. So according to Rule 64, it provides that in every mine wherein more than 250 persons are ordinarily employed and where the chief inspector or the inspector so requires, a canteen must be provided. Next one is creatures. So organization where women workers are employed, there a creature should be provided so that they can take care of their young ones. Next, welfare officer. Every mine wherein 500 or more persons are employed, the owner, the agent, or manager shall appoint a qualified person as welfare officer. Next, we have is Motor Transport Workers Act 1961. The Motor Workers Act 1961 provides the following provisions. First one, canteen facility. So in the previous acts also, they have specified that if more number of employees are working in the organization, there they must provide a canteen facility within the organization. Next one is restrooms, clean, ventilated, well lighted, and comfortable restrooms should be provided to the employees everywhere motor transport workers are required to halt at night. Next one, uniforms. The state government may notify in the official gazette to make rules requiring an employer of a motor transport undertaking to provide uniform for the drivers, conductors, and line checking staff employed in that undertaking. Next, medical facility. So, Motor Transport Workers Act 1961 provides that there shall be provided and maintained by the employer a medical facility. Next one, first aid facility. So, there shall be provided and maintained by the employer a first aid facility which can be accessible by the employees during all working hours. So next we have is non-statutory or voluntary welfare activities. So this are the welfare activities which is not compulsory, but they are voluntary. This welfare activities are taken care by the employers or by the organization. First we have is welfare work by the employer. So under that, the employers provide education to the employees' children. They provide housing facilities or accommodation to the employees. They provide transportation facility for pickup and drop. They allow or provide recreational facilities to the employees and as well medical facility by their own initiative by the employers. Next we have is welfare work by the organization. Labor welfare by the workers organization refers to the service or programs developed by the unions for the benefits of their members. They have organized method to provide the welfare activities to the employees. I have framed few questions. Statutory welfare activities program includes facilities provided by law according to Factories Act and Plantation Act. Motor Transport Work Act was passed in 1961. Statutory welfare programs are monitored by law. Non-statutory welfare activities are also called as voluntary welfare activities. Non-statutory welfare activities are provided by the employers to their employees. Thank you very much for your listening.